There is loads of opportunity there for people that want to go into insurance. Again, if you're not a graduate, if you don't go to university, there's also opportunities. Either way, I would say just get out there, make the contacts. Look on LinkedIn, look online, apply for the jobs, and the world's your oyster.
Hello and welcome back to Future You, the podcast brought to you by graduate careers experts Prospects. I'm your host, Emily Slade, and this episode I'm joined by Adam O'Leary. Hello.
So I'm Adam O'Leary. I'm an insurance broker. In my off time, I like to play sport. I'm a bit sport obsessed, to be honest with you. Football, rugby, tennis, triathlons, you name it, I'll give it a go.
Nice.
And quite a sociable person, like being out and about, to like the odd night in, but I like to see people, meet new people, that kind of thing.
So what is an insurance broker?
So an insurance broker is basically, as you may well know, an intermediary. A broker is an intermediary, bringing two parties together to make a deal in the business world. But in terms of insurance, there's loads of different sectors, and basically you are trying to cover your risk of doing anything, really. So if you buy a house, if you have a house, you need to get insurance cover on that. So that is more basic level, and you do that on compare the market, or one of those online sites, Churchill, etc. That's easy. That's what most people know. Or car insurance, you'd go to the normal players and get that. Whereas as an insurance broker, we're looking more to the commercial side. So for me, I'm in the real estate sector. So that is like landlord's policy insurance, but on a bigger scale. So commercial portfolios, investment funds, pension funds, to retailers, that kind of thing. So on a much larger scale. The insurance market in the UK, in London, is famous worldwide. We have a lot of what we would call capacity. So we place a lot of insurance in the London market. And there are so many different sectors, from energy to marine, so marine being boats, to aviation and planes, to your standard businesses, whether your mum, your dad works or owns their own business, that has to have insurance. You have to have insurance to work. So it can go anywhere. So it spans a whole multitude of spaces.
Did you choose the sector that you went into specifically?
I couldn't fill in that.
Okay.
And once you can move about, but once you start to gain expertise in certain areas, then you tend to, that path just opens up more and more. It does become harder then to move sector. I'm not saying that you can't, like you can move careers in anything, can't you? But once you've gone down a path, you're then starting to get into bigger money and better opportunities. And so to then move paths, you might have to take a step back quite often, not all the time as well, because you might do really well and someone offer you a good role in something else, but yeah, often you have to then start again learning the expertise, the knowledge.
Right, yeah. So I guess specific to your sector, what's the salary range like there?
So I mean, just in insurance in general, I think a lot of people don't realise that the salaries aren't too far off banking. We're a financial sector. A lot of the jobs are London or city based. We have fairly flexible working hours in terms of a lot do let you work from home 1 or 2 days a week. And in terms of salary, I think starting salary, I started on 16,000. Obviously, that was about just over 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I'd expect that to probably be circa the 20,000 mark now. And that really can span, CEOs will be on hundreds and hundreds of thousands to, your standard, you can be anything between 30 to 70,000. And then there are always opportunities to push above that as well, if you so desire.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of
a wide range.
Yeah. And then would that be different in the different sectors as well?
It can be, yes. So, but again, it depends on your role, how many clients you might have, mm-hmm. Whether you're an underwriter, which you mentioned at the start, or an insurance broker, it can really vary. So there is to actually give a definition of that would be hard, but yeah, it spans.
And in terms of career development, is it a simple path to sort of move up the business to CEO, or are there different paths you can take?
Yeah, there's all sorts. So if we start with just an insurance broker, you'd start usually as an admin bod. I think in our team, for example, we've got people who do data analytics, because in insurance, spreadsheets are quite key, and data is king. So learning that, knowing that, it enables underwriters an underwriter is somebody who's an insurer who assesses the risk and then basically insures. So if your house needed insurance, you would go to an insurer, and then somebody called an underwriter would do that. Underwriter actually came from way back when. I don't know, I wouldn't be able to tell you years, but literally people. So if you need a boat insured, they would take the boat, they'd put a note up on the board, and you would scribble how much of the boat value you would take on if it did sink. Okay. So say 10% of the boat, it was worth 100,000, I'll take on 10% to £10,000. So you would underwrite your name underneath that, and that's how an underwriter came about.
Oh wow, so it's quite an old...
Yeah, it's been going for years. And the City of London, if you go to the Lloyd's of London, there's a really good tour you can do of the Lloyd's of London. I think you would need to know a member of Lloyd's in order to do that. It's not open to the public, as I understand, but there's a bell in Lloyd's of London that gets rung every time a ship has sunk, and that has been a tradition for hundreds of years. So
does it get rung often these days?
No, to be fair, but I think on occasion, yes. But yeah, it is quite an old tradition, and underwriting is been around for generations.
Yeah, wow. So is that how you...
Yeah, sorry, I went well off course from
No,
your original question.
No, you're absolutely fine. Did you go to university, and what did you study?
I went to university and I did business economics.
Okay.
So I would say my degree was slightly related, but not in no way completely. There's a lot of people in the industry that do a magnitude of degrees, and there are some that haven't got a degree at all, and there are opportunities for further learning within insurance. So you get what's called a Cert CII, and then you can move up to ACII, and then I think it's called Fellowship is the top one. So ability to study and move and progress in insurance. But no, I did go to university and thoroughly enjoyed it too.
Nice. So how did you get your job?
So my I think I was 16, just about to go to sixth form, and the school challenged us with doing 2 days work experience, and I didn't want that to be with my parents, so I managed to get my mum's cousin was an underwriter, and he agreed to take me for 2 days into London. He did work within Lloyd's, so I worked separately within Lloyd's. I won't explain why, but there is a difference there, and that was when I first saw the bell, and that's when it's a very sociable job in terms of you getting out, you're meeting people. I got to go to a lunch and meet lots of new people, and then I was going around all day, meeting people and stuff like that. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, and that kind of led me into, maybe this could be a possibility of a career or something I could go into when I was pretty certain I wasn't going to make it as a professional sportsman anymore.
Yeah. Oh no.
But yeah, it opened my eyes to that world, and then from that I got an in between university years. So in one summer I had a friend working at a broker, and I asked them if they had anything going, just like an internship, work for free, whatever. So yeah, I ended up doing 2 or 3 months working for them in the summer one year, and then off the back of that they offered me like a placement in 2 different offices. So it was going to be 6 months in a local office to me in Colchester, and then 6 months in their London office. and the one in the London office was in the real estate division. I ended up getting offered the job from both after my 2 6-month placements. So I took the one in London in real estate, and then I've been there ever since. So just over 10 years now.
Wow. So what does a day in the life of your job look like?
That question would have changed quite dramatically throughout my 10 years, but now my role is a placement broker. So my role is more what we would call market facing, so dealing with insurers day to day. So in our team of our real estate team, we have about 130 people now, and my job is to build relationships with the insurers, to keep them in check, make sure they're getting stuff to us on time so that we can deliver to our clients. So meeting with them a lot, making sure we can get the best possible deals for our clients, and generally making sure the relationship between the client service team to within our real estate team and the insurers is good.
Mm-hmm. So what skill sets do you need for that, both hard and soft skills?
So for me, in terms of a skill set, I would say insurance is very sociable. So you do need to have, you do need that ability to be comfortable in the presence of people. There are more specific people that perhaps sit back from that and are more data analytical. So you don't have to get involved in that side, but I think that opens up a lot more doors for you if that's something you're comfortable doing. And I think there's a lot of people out there who are similarly like-minded to me that like that kind of lifestyle, and you're not just sitting at your desk. So it is getting out and about, being willing to go and meet new people, make relationships, and then to hold those relationships and keep them building throughout time to continue doing business and grow that business. So that would be I think looking at it, that would be where I see the most benefit to being in insurance and a skill set that you need.
Yeah, definitely. So what do you love most about your job?
It is the social side. You do get a lot of opportunities to go out to different events, be it a rugby match or be it horse racing or something like that. So there are opportunities to do that kind of thing, as well as meeting lots of new people, which I really enjoy. So they're probably my two favourites from what I do.
Yeah. So were there any expectations that you had about your career that turned out differently?
Definitely. You're never quite sure what to expect, are you? When you're sitting there as a youngster, dreaming about what life is going to be. The world's a tough place. It's not easy. You're not going to get by if you're not willing to get down and do the work. So that's definitely something that you have to bear in mind, but I think everyone knows that. So for me, something that was unexpected was, I thought if I had an office-based job, I would be stuck at my desk quite a lot. And that has not been the case. And now I actually dream of getting 5 to 10 minutes to sit at my desk. So, you are in meetings a lot, and then you're having to make up the time, make sure you're doing the notes, doing the follow-up pieces from those meetings. So finding that time can be difficult. But it's what I enjoy, and it is, keeps you on your toes.
Mm-hmm. So what advice do you have for anyone that wants to get into this?
I think go online. There are a lot of internships and graduate jobs available. They do intakes every year. There is loads of opportunity there for people that want to go into insurance. Again, if you're not a graduate, if you don't go to university, there's also opportunities. Obviously, it does help. There are probably a few more graduate opportunities, but there is either way. I would say just get out there, make the contacts, look on LinkedIn, look online, apply for the jobs, and the world's your oyster. There are, I think there's just I think insurance is a bit of an unknown world in terms of when you're growing up and thinking about things that you can do in your future career. And how many people do you know that would go insurance? But and look, a lot of people fall into it, and it's not the dream job kind of thing. But it earns good money. You won't be far off banker's wages. You do get a social lifestyle. More often than not, you can work a 9 till 5. if you want to really push and progress, you do need to do, graft and put some extra hours in. But it is a sociable job. It is, you are going to be able to get home and see your family or do your sport or whatever. They're flexible. And yeah, I just think that is something that you need to take into having a work-life balance. There are jobs out there that you don't get to do that. Running your own business is tough, and you quite often have extra stresses that you perhaps don't get in the insurance industry, because it isn't that kind of role.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.